Flip TV Plus.
Good evening and welcome to Evening News Report on Flip TV Plus. Let's take a look at the headlines. AU suspends Gabon from participating in its activities. Delta Guba hope insight as LP candidate wins appeal case. Ijebu East LG Chair Adedayo says suspension baseless. Opposition presidential candidates beg for appointment. Lagos police parades suspect foreign impersonation. Protests rock Abuja over Tinubu's appointment of PDP member as NDDC commissioner in Cross River State. NLC declares 2-day morning strike. Bua Group speaks on releasing price of cement. Now the news in details. The African Union on Thursday, August 31st, suspended Gabon from participating in all its activities, organs and institutions until the restoration of constitutional order in the country. The announcement was made after an AU Peace and Security Council meeting that took place on Thursday. The meeting of the African Union Commission was headed by Bankole Adeoye, the head of political affairs for the African bloc, as well as Willie Nyamitwe, the current holder of the council's rotating chair. This is coming after soldiers ousted President Ali Bongo and installed a general as head of state. Senior officers in Gabon announced their coup before dawn on Wednesday, August 30, shortly after an election body declared that Bongo had won a third term after Saturday's election, which was marred by irregularities. The junta declared the vote null and void. The takeover ends the Bongo family dynasty, almost 6 decades in power, and creates a new conundrum for a region that has struggled to deal with 8 coups since 2020. The event followed coups in the past 4 years in Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Chad, and Niger, erasing democratic gains since the 1990s and raising concerns among foreign powers with regional strategic interest. The coups also showed the limited leverage of African powers once the military takes over. On Delta Guba, there seems to be a glimpse of hope for the Labour Party governorship candidate in Delta State, Ken Pella, as the Court of Appeal on Thursday granted him approval to return to the Delta State Election Tribunal for the continuation of his petition against Governor Sheriff Oborevwori. Recall that Delta Tribunal had earlier dismissed Labour Party's petition against Governor Sheriff on the ground that he abandoned his pre-hearing. Displeased by the ruling, Ken Pella took the matter to the Court of Appeal in Abuja, where he contested the decision of the election tribunal. With the appeal judgment, Ken Pella would head back to the tribunal panel sitting in Delta State to continue his case. The victory at the appeal court was only interlocutory and does not imply Ken Pella has been declared winner of the March 28th gubernatorial election in the state. Moving on, the embattled Ijebu East local government chairman Wale Adedayo has stated that his purported suspension by the legislative arm of the council is baseless and without foundation. Adedayo was suspended over a series of allegations against him, coming on the heels of his letter written to former Governor Olusegun Oshoba on an alleged diversion of council allocation by the state governor Dapo Abiodun. In the resolution of the 7 councillors out of the 11 after its sitting held on Thursday, the chairman was suspended for a period of 3 months pending the investigation of the House. The legislative arm also directed the council treasurer through the head of the local government administration to furnish it with the financial bank statements of the council in the last 2 years, along with other relevant documents and vouchers required by the House in the course of its investigation. Reacting, Adedayo stated that the purported suspension did not follow due process, adding that 2 of the councillors were led to the council secretariat at gunpoint. Moving on, presidential candidates of some opposition political parties in the 2023 general elections have reportedly begun to lobby for appointments in the Tinubu administration. According to reports, the presidential candidates met with the national chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, Abdullahi Omar Ganduje, on Thursday, August 31st, where they lobbied for inclusion in the present administration. According to the report, the presidential candidates are of the All Progressives Grand Alliance (ABGA), Action Democratic Party (ADP), National Rescue Movement (NRM), and Action People's Party (APP), among others. The candidates who are under the aegis of the Forum of Concerned Presidential Candidates said The need for peace and development of the country informed their decision not to challenge the victory of President Tinubu at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. The spokesperson of the forum and presidential candidate of the National Rescue Movement (NRM), Ambassador Felix Johnson Osakwe, assured the president and the party that they were for peace and are willing to serve the country in whatever capacity the President Tinubu administration deems fit for them. In Lagos State, the Lagos State Police Command on Thursday paraded 2 suspects for impersonating policemen. In the same vein, the police officers also paraded suspected cultists and armed robbers, among others, at the Police Officers College Ikeja, Lagos. The Commissioner of Police, CP Idowu, while speaking during the parading of the suspect, disclosed that AK-47 rifles, machetes, bags of weed suspected to be Indian hemp, among others, were recovered from the suspect.
This Fortuner parked there is an exhibit.
No,
you're wrong. I want to park me.
Okay.
The vehicles here, apart from that black SUV.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This one.
So we can take all this. Apart from the black SUV there. The rest of them are exhibits. The white GLK.
I don't.
Duro kini
Sorry.
In Abuja, scores of demonstrators took to the streets of Abuja on Thursday to protest President Bola Tinubu's appointment of a notable member of the People's Democratic Party, Asu Okang, as a commissioner representing Cross River on the board of Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. The protest is coming on the heel of a similar one held in Calabar, Cross River State capital, on Wednesday. Tinubu had on Tuesday approved the appointment of a new board and management team for the NDDC. The announcement was made in a statement by his presidential spokesman, Ajuri Ngelale. But Tinubu's choice of Okang as Cross River representative on the NDDC board sparked outrage and protest among APC supporters, who insisted that it would be unfair for the president to appoint a PDP member to reap their sweat. Thursday's demonstration in Abuja was led by a group of aggrieved party members under the aegis of Cross River APC stakeholders, chanting solidarity songs and displaying several banners that read, "Asu Okang, not an APC member," "Cross River and APC state, not PDP," and "Cross River rejects Asu Okang as NDDC commissioner." The protesters embarked on a peaceful walk from the Popular Unity Fountain to the National Assembly.
Okay. Take the camera. This is the only camera here.
We are here because we want to send a message to the party that injustice is not good. It looks as if it's the season for Cross River to receive, and we will not keep quiet. So if it means we have to protest every day, we are ready to do the right thing. We, the Cross River people, have been speaking since yesterday from the states and now in the national as well, that there should not repeat injustice to Cross River. The NDDC slot given to one of our brothers, it's not a bad idea, but for us, we believe in a reward system. Who works should be who to be. Somebody who fought against a system should not be the first person benefiting from the system. So at least even if they say it's a unity government, let the people that work first start getting the reward. we are rejecting the slot of Cross River for NDDC. We are rejecting it 110%. That's why we are here. We're going to continue this protest till the right thing is done. Whoever has worked should be the person to benefit. We are rejecting, and there are so many APC stewards that are qualified, even more qualified, to do that work, to go and represent us in NDDC. Those people should be carried along. Those people should be appointed, not somebody from another party, not somebody that fought us. I mean, it's a unity government, but let us not start by causing more problem within ourselves. So we are rejecting the NDDC slot for Cross River. There are so many people in Cross River.
On strike, the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has declared a 2-day warning strike beginning on Tuesday, September 5, in protest against the federal government for failing to address the challenges caused by the removal of fuel subsidy. On August 2nd, organized labour protested the anti-people policies of the President Bola Tinubu administration. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), Trade Union Congress (TUC), and their affiliate unions demonstrated in the Federal Capital Territory and several other states of the Federation. The NLC followed a 7-day ultimatum issued to the federal government demanding the immediate reversal of all anti-people policies of the federal government, including the recent hike in PMS price, increase in public school fees, the release of the 8-month withheld salary of university lecturers and workers. The union also demanded an upward review of the minimum wage from 30,000 to 200,000, saying that since the president's subsidy is gone, inauguration speech of May 29, 2023, the peace of mind of Nigerians has gone. Several meetings between the presidency and the unions on palliatives for Nigerians suffering hardship in the wake of the petrol subsidy removal proved abortive. And lastly on the news, Abdul Samed Rabiu, chairman of BUA Group, has announced that BUA Cement plans to lower the cost of cement throughout Nigeria. According to him, his move is aimed at supporting the federal government's economic initiative. Rabiu made this announcement during the 7th annual general meeting of BUA Cement in Abuja. BUA Cement intends to achieve its cost reduction goal by enhancing the production capacity of its cement manufacturing plants.
That the price of cement in Nigeria is high, at almost 5,000 naira per ton. So I appreciate where government is coming from. I can understand the frustration, because of all the issues we're having in the country. Again, as I said during the meeting, the price of cement at 5,000 naira or just under 5,000 naira per bag in Nigeria is not really, very high. If you look at the rate of the US dollar today. To import cement into Nigeria, today will be almost 5,000 naira per bag, because the cost of cement CIF, to any of the ports in Nigeria will be in the region of about $100 a ton, and that is, something that, can be ascertained, So at $100 per ton, if you take even 800 naira to $1, you will be looking at 4,000 naira per bag. And then, of course, you have the port costs, you have the transportation from the port, to wherever you are taking the cement to. So it's not that, government actually wants to import cement. It's just that they are frustrated that the price of cement is high. And I understand that. So what I am going to do, and what I told our shareholders, is that we will engage with the government to support the government, because even though we know that the price of cement, is high, but it cannot be cheaper if we import cement today. But what we want to do, because we have 2 lines that are coming on stream by the end of the year, the Obu line 3 and Sokoto line 5, which will give us a combined capacity of 6 million tons. And then by the time, we have those 2 lines, we'll be having about 70 million tons per annum. So what we want to do is to support the government, sit down with, the minister, to see how we can bring down the price of cement once we have these 2 lines up and running by the end of the year. I'm happy to support the government. We are going to reduce the price of cement once these 2 lines are up and running. And I can assure you that we'll do everything to support the government and to support Nigerians. It is true that the price of cement is high now, and that is simply maybe because of the devaluation and all the issues that we're having in the country now. Hence the reason why we decided that we are going to support and bring down the price of cement. And this is a promise from myself. The price of cement, I don't know what it is in the market, but I know our price ex factory is about 4,000 naira or 4,300 naira per bag. So the target is to reduce that substantially by the time we start, regardless of what other inputs, costs are. So we will do that. I will engage the minister, and we are not doing that, because we are worried or concerned that government will allow imports, because we know that imports will not be any cheaper. We are going to do that because we want to support the government and we want to support, Nigeria and Nigerians. The reason why we want to wait until when we have the 2 lines that are going to come on stream by the end of the year is simply because we will have additional volumes, so that if we reduce the price, even if others have not agreed to reduce the price, the market will compel them to come down. Because if you do not have enough volumes and you reduce the price, the market may not take it. But if you have the volumes and you reduce your price with the huge volume that you have, price must come down. So even if others are not ready to support the government or to support, the reduction of the price of cement, they will be compelled, because if they don't reduce, they will not be able to sell. That is why we want to wait until end of the year when these 2 new lines are on stream. And I will discuss with the minister and see how we can do that. Okay?
One more question.
Particularly about plans that you said. Could you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, as I said, we are using more of LNG now than coal, and we'll continue to do that because, it is important to go green, because, of course, we have all the, issues of climate change and what have you. It is not easy to go completely green, especially here in Africa, because we have energy deficit, we have all sorts of issues. So to go completely green is not going to be easy. It takes time. It's going to be a process, and we have started that, and we are using LNG in Sokoto, which means that we bring in the LNG from Port Harcourt and we use it in Sokoto. So we're using less fossils, and we'll continue to do that, but it will take a bit of time before we get there. Thank you.
And that'll be all for now. Do well to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more reports as they drop. Thanks for watching Evening News Update on Flip TV Plus. I am Gladys Alozin reporting for Flip TV Plus. Bye for now.